Welcome to Swan Dive, Red Strings, a series of solo spire interludes by the Savage Godlings. Our cell of the ministry of our hidden mistress is scattered to new winds to hunt for information on the 5 deacons up for election in the shadowy Archdeacon Enclave encroaching upon the spire. And first, we find our way to Gertrisa, intrepid Carrion priest of Charnel and resident sociopath, finding her way to Mr. Alas's palatial estate on command of a missive delivered by shaky hands. As the search for truth and the fight for the soul of half the city heats up, Gertrisa trundles through, cleaver in hand and Belvin by her side, in hopes of righting unspoken wrongs hundreds of miles and dozens of years away. Finally, a gentle content warning for this entire episode for any unaccustomed to body horror and gore. This one gets grisly. We make our way into Ivory Row. Not the nice part of Ivory Row by any means. There are 3 primary lords of the vast plain of decrepit mansions and once glorious businesses that is called Ivory Row. And Mr. Alas, the employer and particular torturer of Gertrisa, owns the nastiest slice possible. That is, of course, in part because Mr. Alas, despite his ownership of this chunk of Ivory Row, makes the majority of his money and the majority of his business in Red Row, much, much lower in the spire, selling and pushing the largest amount of exotic substances present in Spire. And Ivory Row tends to simply be something of a front for the larger proportion of his business. You need to find a horrific little mansion to experiment upon people. This is where you go. And Gertrisa, of course, has found herself in Mr. Alas's employment for quite a while now. As we learned last episode, he is not quite pleased with Gertrisa's current offerings. As such, as we make our way into Ivory Row, we focus on this nasty little slice. We dig deeper and deeper as we move past boarded up windows and molding once glorious, now decrepit and hanging off of the edges of buildings rented out by bloodthirsty landlords and owners that have no interest in anything but profit. As such, Ivory Row, as far as Aelfir own district goes, is as bad as it gets. But in the center of this rotten egg lies a yolk drenched in a never-ending downpour of the cracked ceiling above. High in Silver Quarter lies the Endless Canal, something of an attraction for the Aelfir, and a place that has not been entirely reinforced in the ways that it need be to keep from what has happened across most of Ivory Row, that is, vast leaks. And Mr. Alas's mansion happens to be purposefully located underneath one of the largest leaks, gone entirely unfixed. Colloquially, we know the street as Drizzle Avenue, a simple name for a street that is never found without some degree of moisture leaking from the ceiling above. And the water that lands atop that manor is then diverted into a vast and unbelievably expensive network of gutters and artful waterways, all sending that water in beautiful slopes and sluices that lead into one simple, beautiful moat around the whole shebang. Gertrisa, as you approach it, you realize that there is no obvious gate, and that the water that sluices at a never-ending torrent around it serves as something of a de facto gate unto itself, a true moat, unlike the sort of false one you experienced in the castle in the High North bubble, which of course just got done with from a little soiree. So, Gertrisa, as you approach this massive drenched manor, what you doing?
Gertrisa is gonna stop by one of these waterways that's closer to the ground, and she's gonna walk up next to it with Belvin and let Belvin have a little drink.
Yeah, he laps away. Starts drinking some water. And while you let him drink, you can probably see the guards. They're wearing something like ponchos, right? Big, voluminous drapes, capes of water-resistant fabric that are draped over, from the hard angles you can see, probably an intense amount of armor. You know these as the Drenched. These are Mr. Alas's personal guard, and they patrol most of this area around the manor, keeping it particularly clean in comparison to most of his, purview.
Yeah, so she looks directly at one of these Drenched, tugs on Belvin's leash, and he lifts up the leg and starts peeing in the trough.
You see the Dredge kind of screws his face up in disgust.
And then I tug Belvin's chain again, and we walk inside.
Yeah, so you have to walk up to what is apparently some sort of walkway that would lift out of the water, but of course, you essentially are going to have to shout over the waterways to the Drenched beyond.
Excuse me. I think I have an appointment.
Huh?
An appointment with Mr. Alas.
Appointment?
Yes.
What's your name?
Gertrisa. That's G-U-R-T-R-I. I forget the rest.
We got it, lady. Thank you. You're good. Come on over. And you see he has some sort of sword, sort of like a short sword, but he jams it into what appears to be a slightly raised circular dais, and he twists it, and then a bridge raises up out of the water.
Thank you, dearie.
Now come on, quick, before the water takes you.
What was your name?
Come on, quick.
Have some sten.
Wait, is he like within reach of the bridge on the other side?
Yeah. Not to you, but like if you get to the end of the bridge on the other side, he's within range.
Okay, yeah, then I'm gonna cross the bridge, and after I do so, I'm gonna say,
Have some sten, dearie.
And I'm gonna tip him.
Okay, cool. Yeah, take a point of silver stress.
No problemo.
Yeah, he takes the sten. Oh, thanks, lady. You be safe now. Just head straight on up. Mr. Alas is in a pretty good mood today, so you should be okay. So trying to yell over the water.
Thank you very much, dearie. You have a good day now.
He nods, twists his sword. The bridge descends back into the water.
Excellent. Yeah, and I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and go where the guard told me.
You've been here, you said, probably once before?
Yeah.
Alright. So I feel as if you are going to the same place you remembered that you went last time.
Yeah, I feel as though it was, it's a thing she remembers pretty vividly. Feel as though meeting Mr. Alas is a pretty big thing.
Probably, yeah. So, yeah, you make your way through this water-drenched courtyard, and every place in the stead of plants or, finery, there are just diversions of this continuous water flow into various water elements, sprays and whirls and funnels, little pools, etc. You make your way into the center of the manor, far less moist, though of course you can continuously hear the soft drizzle of rain above you. And you make his way through this cavernous building, meant of course to echo that rain sound throughout. And in the heart of it, sort of in a central courtyard domed over so that you can see the rain above, and the central focus of that drip is, a sort of garden growing on artificial light above. And grooming this garden is a small, withered man, a masked man, a rarity among the humans. And his mask, a simple one, plain white porcelain with a big, stark yellow hourglass drawn at a diagonal across it. Stylized and filigreed, with no eye holes, some sort of magic allowing him to speak and see through it. And he's gently trimming a rose bush with a pair of hand shears. Of course, you've seen Drenched as you've entered, but at every point they've nodded and allow you in.
Excuse me, sir.
And he looks up. A smaller man than I think you'd probably expect, 5'6", 5'7", spreads himself to his full height, stretches up, takes the hand shears, puts it in his offhand, and sets the other hand in front of himself, gloved and extended. Hello, good Teresa. Thank you for responding promptly to my missive.
Of course, sir. Is there a problem? Not to be blunt, but...
Well, you're being blunt. And he snips a leaf off of the rose bush with his offhand. I'm in the middle of gardening. Would you mind if I continued while we talked?
Of course, that's no problem at all. Is there anything I can do to help?
So that cart over there in the distance, you could bring it to me. It has some saplings, and I'm settling new plants for the next season.
Oh, well, it would be my pleasure.
Yeah, she goes over and gets the cart. Yeah, I don't think she's very content being still right now around Mr. Alas. So she's going to be looking for shit to do while this conversation's going down.
He has an even slowness to his movement as you do this. I think you can tell just because Gertrisa is such a predator. He's doing something very deliberately, in this smoothness and this evenness in what he's directed you to do. Especially because where you're going, you have to have your back to him to grab that cart, to move towards that cart.
Yeah, I think, well, she's definitely not gonna, leave her back to him without Belvin, keeping an eye out.
Calls out to you while he's chopping. You're an excellent employee. You know that?
I try to do my best, sir.
Of course you do. At what you do. Isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
And Gertrisa, what is it that you do for me? Could you clarify?
I kill, sir.
Yes, you kill. And what do you do after you killed, Gertrisa?
Well, I feed Belvin here as my religion dictates.
Of course. Personal rights. Don't mistake me, I understand. No, I mean, what do you do precisely after you kill Gertrisa?
I don't know how to answer that, sir.
You take care of it, Gertrisa. You hide it. You make sure people don't see the body. You make sure that when the person is killed, the corpse ends up somewhere where it should be. You make sure that the moment your cleaver chops through somebody's neck, that blood is spraying somewhere that points somewhere else. Am I mistaken, Miss Gertrisa?
That does sound like good murdering theory. I do think I see the value of what you mean, sir. It's kind of commonsensical if you think about it.
Of course it is. You murder someone, and you make sure no one else notices. You've been very good at that, Gertrisa. I will not deny you this. The thing that bothers me is what happens when you don't murder them, Gertrisa. Stick! And you see he snips a rose off fully at the stem. It's half wilted, and he throws it behind him. Do you understand where I am going, Gertrisa?
I think you'd have to elaborate, sir.
He turns around, holds up his shears, and steps towards you. Well, fine, Gertrisa, I will elaborate. Do you think you could begin to move those saplings over there into that box for me?
No problem at all, sir.
Excellent. I'm glad you can do that. Now I want you to think back the past few days. There's an individual you interacted with that has begun to talk. Can you think of who it is, Gertrisa?
I don't think I recall a name, I'm sorry. Targets always kind of blend together after the job's done.
That's just fine. And he bink, sticks his shears right in between your ring and middle finger as you're putting one of these saplings down in the box. But can you recall a man named Yindwell?
Oh, he was a druid, wasn't he?
Yes,
Funny
he
chap.
was, and is extremely funny. The problem being that the druids of this city are among the greatest gossip mongers of this entire pack of rabid vultures. So tell me, good Teresa. He pulls the shears out of the box. When you left that cretin to live after he gave you what you needed, what did you expect would happen?
To be honest, sir, I hadn't thought that far ahead.
Fucking grabs you by the face, like full palm hand on your face. You hadn't thought that far ahead, good Teresa. Then what do I pay you for? And he bink opens up the shears one-handed, like flicks it down, and sticks the open crook of it against your neck. It releases your face to your mouthkin.
Thank you. I suppose to kill people, sir.
And he pushes you back. Not too hard, but hard enough. I pay you to kill people and take care of it. Yindwell was able to put things together. Strings were brought between you and whoever was employing you. There were past incidents, Gertrucia. This isn't the first time you've fucked up. So now, I have a sword hanging above my head by a hair. This bombing, everyone's looking for the truth behind it, Gertrucia. And all of the individuals that saw you and that fucking hyena of yours with the Charnel symbol rot across it as large as you could do. Every individual tuned into this particular series of incongruities paid attention. It's not entirely brought down upon our heads yet, Gertrucia. But it is very close to it.
What can I do to help, sir?
What you do best. Kill. I have information on the investigators on this case. And I presume if you were at the soiree, you're going to have information on the individuals that perpetuated this bombing. I need a head. Either that of the individuals pursuing the truth of this, or that of the ones who did the bombing.
I think that can be arranged. Is there anything else?
The investigators. Turns around. Faces away from you and begins to stalk away to a different part of the garden, kind of half yelling over his shoulder. There are two of them, independently hired through the Solar Church, apparently through some paladins searching for the truth of it all. I have basic information on them. If you're going to deal with that end of it all, I can fill you in. Otherwise, if you're pursuing your sick little friends, you're on your own.
Well, I suppose the Solar Church would be a much more direct way of dealing with this. I think that's the way to go.
Straightforward. There was no assumption that the church won't send more. But if you're going to pursue that avenue, Gertrucia, you must make an example of them.
Oh, now you're speaking my language, as they say.
Excellent. They're staying in a casino in Silver Quarter. Casino Goliath. Perhaps you know of it. It's the kind of shithole I can see an individual such as yourself frequenting.
Thank you, sir.
Their names are Yisheb, runs quick through fog, and Garen, unyielding transcendence. Both Aelfir of Amaranth. Lower class individuals, both with disposable assets.
Is there anything else I should know about them before embarking?
Beyond the casino they're staying at, I have little to offer you. independent contractors. Yesheb studied with Grey Banner for a time. They're investigators of a decent order. Dig into their business. Perhaps you can pursue the leads that they are already pursuing and find an answer to this little conundrum that doesn't lead to your cleaver 4 inches deep in their neck. But, of course, I leave that to you.
All right, then. Shall I return here when the job is done?
Of course. And bring me a head.
Very well, sir.
And without waiting to be dismissed, she walks out the door.
So we travel out of the Ivory Row, slowly through all the slightly more prestigious parts of it, up into the Silver Quarter, the gambling and hedonism district of the High Elves, filled with plays, filled with music, filled with sex, filled with drugs, filled with anything an Aelfir could possibly require to get himself off, including casinos. Glorious, glorious casinos. And the worst of them, the dingiest of them, the most voluminous of them all, Casino Goliath. Floor to ceiling, the largest casino within the entirety of the Silver Quarter. Unbelievably large, and a good 2/3 of it completely unoccupied. Casino Goliath wins for volume over quality, and unfortunately has suffered as such, and now is considered within the many, many casinos of the Silver Quarter as the lowest of the low. And where you go, if your money dictates you can't quite afford the stint requirement of the finer casinos of the bunch. Gertrisa, you arrive to see this massive lobby entrance, meant for carriages and foot traffic alike, and of course, barely guarded. Decrepit, tile, cracked, and dingy, unwashed, and the massive glass doors that lead into this entry hallway are smudged and filthy.
God, I love it. So, would you say that this is a place Gertrisa could get into relatively easy, posing as a guest?
In a heartbeat.
Then hell yeah, I'm just gonna walk through the front door.
I think as you walk past, there's a guard with sort of like a poofy, like a little bit of a fro, like, you know, just a little bit of curly fro, and he's got sort of like a shitty maul on his side, and about as close as you can get to a t-shirt, like a barely hewn tunic, and he kind of watches you slip by, and he's like, sick dog.
Oh, thank you. His name's Belvin.
Cool, can I pet it?
Of course you can pet him. Go right ahead.
Does it go okay?
I want to say that Belvin's a nipper, but I feel as though he's trained well enough to know not to attack someone if either Gertrisa hasn't given the order or they're not like aggressive or anything.
Yeah, this guy seems like goofily sweet, so I feel like she probably doesn't sense any like malice from him or anything like that.
Like I said, maybe a nip, but nothing too bad. And I already fucking love this guard.
So he pets it a little bit, maybe a little nip, and he's like, "Oh, no, that's fine, whatever, that's fine, that's whatever. That's a cool-ass hyena? It's a hyena?"
Oh, yeah, he's a spotted hyena.
And yeah, Belvin's just sitting there, his tail just fucking wagging.
Well, damn, that's sweet as hell, man. That's really cool. Well, welcome to Casino Goliath, ma'am. You need any help? Like, you looking for anything or anything like that?
Oh, it's no trouble at all. I'm simply trying to, enjoy my night off.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it's a great place to enjoy your night off, lady. That's sweet.
Well, what is your name, dearie? Perhaps I'll come looking for you if I ever come back.
Oh, sweet. I'm Harlan. Nice to meet you. I'm doing guard stuff right now, but, like, sometimes I do, craps table here and there, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, that sounds delightful. Harlan, you said your name was?
Yeah, Harlan.
It's delightful to meet you, Harlan. I am Gertrisa.
Oh, nice to meet you, Gertrisa. It's a good place here, you know? You got your cool dog. I think you'll fit in really good now.
Well, you are such a sweetheart. I'll be on my way now. I'll let you know if I'm having any trouble.
Yeah, of course. You just ask for Harlan. I'm here for you. I love your dog.
Thank you. I'm sure he loves you too. Isn't that right, Belvin?
And yeah, Belvin maybe gives out a little or some sort of excited hyena sound.
Yeah.
Yes, aren't they just lovely creatures?
Magnificent.
Yeah, she walks on in.
Awesome. Yeah, you make it past. It kind of has that sort of like dingy hotel lobby sort of feel. I think, there's like a few counters of people with like physical ledgers that are checking people in. And then you can kind of see in the distance a magical Arcano casino.
And so I'm essentially just on the main floor right now.
Entry floor. Yeah, this is where sort of, I feel like in my mind there's sort of an equivalent to slot machines. I don't think they're slot machines per se. Maybe it's sort of like some sort of orb, that produces color, and you sort of, input tokens or some sort of magic thing, and it flashes different colors, and it's just an equivalent to a slot machine. It's something like that, an easy input sort of gambling device here in the bottom floor, with maybe a few tables in the distance. But yeah, beyond that, this is a super easy intro floor, for arriving guests.
You said that Yishib and Garen had private rooms up here?
They definitely have hotel rooms here. Yeah, they're staying here.
In that case, you know what? No, I'm gonna double back around and ask Harlan.
Actually, Sonny, there was something, if you wouldn't mind helping me, find...
Oh, shit.
If
yeah? Find something? Yeah.
I'm looking for the hotel. I have a few friends that are staying there.
Oh, yeah, just go over to those counters, and you just you check in with those guys, and the hotel's above us,
Thank you so much, Sonny. You have a lovely evening now.
No, you're good. You too. You too. Beautiful. He smiles warmly.
Katrisa gives him a loving pat. And, I guess I'll just go up to the front desk.
There's a couple different, tellers. Tellers isn't right. There's a couple different, what's the word? Concierges, something like that are accepting you and people into the hotel part of it. Once again, doing it all by hand, not a computer or anything, but checking you into ledgers. I think the line's probably pretty short, and you can manage to find your way up to a concierge pretty quick. She's probably a young drow, dark brown hair, in the same uniform everyone's wearing. She kind of looks up at you. Hey, welcome to Casino Goliath.
Yes, I'd like to get into the hotel. I'm not staying or anything.
Oh, okay. Well, you can go on into the casino, and then if you know somebody, they can help you onto the higher floors.
Oh, excellent. I do believe I do know some people here.
Okay.
Do you have a Yishib runs quick through fog on the ledger?
Maybe, but we're not supposed to give out guest information necessarily. Or if you know him, maybe you can kind of wait around for him, and you can meet him, and he can help you up.
Well, I've already given the name, so simply knowing that he's here is all I wished to know.
Let me check my ledger real quick. And it flips through a book. Ooh. Checks with the other concierges, and then comes back to you. Okay, well, it seems like there was a Yishib that checked in within the past 48 hours.
Excellent. Well, if it's not too much trouble passing on along word that there's someone here who wishes to speak with him privately, that would be excellent.
Sure, I can send up word with one of our workers here. What kind of message do you want to send?
Oh, it's a private matter. Just send word that someone wished to speak with him.
Well, sure. Should I tell him you're going to meet him somewhere?
Oh, yes. Just outside. Just outside would be fine.
Alrighty, ma'am. I got that all set up for you. He should be receiving that soon.
Thank you, dearie. What was your name?
Oh, my name's Lizette.
Well, Lizette, you are one of the most phenomenal concierges I have ever met. I tell you what, you have been so very helpful.
Thank you so much, ma'am. If you could please write that on a comment card over there on the wall and put that inside the comment box, I would appreciate that so much.
Oh, of course, and she does.
Hell yeah, okay, yeah. You can fill out that comment card, yeah.
Yeah, she writes one of the best concierges, but concierge is probably spelt wrong, like with an S and a J.
How I spell concierge in my notes. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, she puts it in the comment box. She probably uses way too many exclamation points, and, like, writes a smiley face or something.
Yeah, you put that shit in the comment box, and the traffic of the casino flows around you. You gonna do anything in the meantime? Kind of while we wait for this message to be delivered.
I think Gertrusa's really just gonna. I think she's really just gonna sit out there and people watch. Maybe lean back against, like, some railing on the sides of, like, a walkway or something, and just kind of pet her boy.
Sweet. Yeah, I think this is a perfect kind of place to people watch. Casino Goliath is a shithole, but because it's a shithole, everybody sort of traveling down Spire, this is where they stay. So, wildly popular, even though, like I said, the majority of it stays unoccupied. That has more to do with the scale of it all, though, less to do with the popularity. I think the scale of it is just completely inconceivable to stay, like, completely stocked. And yeah, you see a wide variety of lower class Spire drow and the Aelfir coming from up Spire. You see a handful of humans, richer and poorer, and yeah, I mean, you're just seeing a full selection of Spire life at this point. Culture from the Far East, Aliquam drow and their vast wrapped silks. You're seeing far up Amarant high couture fashion. You're seeing people from Red Row who have saved up for months to come up here to party. It's the whole gamut, really. And eventually, a little hatted attendant comes to you. Nope. Eventually, a little hatted assistant comes to you, and he's sort of nervous looking. Hello, sir. Ma'am, are you Mrs. Gertrusa?
Yes, sir, that would be me.
Oh, okay. I believe I have Mr. Yesheb runs through fog, and he is looking for you.
Excellent, Sonny. Thank you so much. Where can I find him?
And right back here, ma'am. And he points back, and yeah, there's an Aelfir in a long, dark, magnificent coat, edged in fur, beautiful, thick leather, and he's got long, dark hair, and he's got a mask of beautiful opalescent glass that reflects light in this, like, beautiful, like prism pattern, this rainbow pattern, with easy, obvious eye holes, sort of this simple minimalism, unpretentious of Aelfir tend to wear.
Good evening, sir. Would you be Mr. Yesheb?
Yes, I am Mr. Yesheb. You are Gertrusa.
Yes, sir. Could we go somewhere more private?
It depends. What are you looking to ask me, Miss Gertrusa?
Something incredibly sensitive, which relates to the business. Something I don't wish others hearing about prematurely, if you get my meaning.
His eyes tighten. The business. Perhaps we could speak at our local bar here in this casino. There's one on this floor.
That would be excellent, yes.
Fine. If you would follow me, Miss Gertrusa.
Very well. You don't mind if I bring Belvin along, do you? I simply can't stand to be parted with him for too long.
No, you're fine. He's beautiful.
No, isn't he, though?
True.
You're such a pretty boy.
Yeah, Yesheb smiles. You can't see, but, kind of gives a crinkling eye look at Belvin, and leads you to the distant end of this particular floor where, there's a kind of a small airport-esque bar, around a very small bar, probably, 12 seats, and he sidles up on a small stool. Please, I assure you, this is a safe place.
Thank you very much, sir.
How many people would you say are in this bar?
None. It's only you two. You can see there's other bars in this area, all of them fairly populated. This one is no one but you, this individual, and the bartender.
So tell me, I've heard that you and a friend of yours, Garen Unyielding Transcendence, members of the Solar Church, from what I've heard, are taking part in some sort of investigation.
Well, cutting straight to the truth, aren't we?
Yes, as I said before, it's a sensitive topic.
It certainly is. Yes, Garen and I are investigating on behalf of the Solar Church, but we are independent investigators. Both of us are actually based out of Red Row.
Well, tell me, how, if it's not too much prying, how much do you know so far?
I'm afraid that's entirely private, Miss Teresa.
Very well. Do you know anything regarding the killings?
Again, Miss Teresa, you're prying onto incredibly private information. Information astoundingly valuable to the Solar Church that is employing us.
Very sorry. I meant no offense. It's just you could say I've been following these cases quite closely.
Apparently. How did you even learn of us? Our knowledge of the case. This is particularly interesting. Would you like a drink? Would you like a drink, Miss Teresa?
Oh, I mostly drink tea if they have that.
I'm sure they do. It's good to notice at this point, Yisheb is he's in his late 60s. He's probably younger than you, but he's closer to your age than probably anybody we've met in a while. Beyond, when.
Yeah. So, tell me, how long have you been in this business, Yisheb?
Ooh. Years. Too long, honestly. Probably coming up on 40 years now.
I know the feeling. Staying in a line of work.
Oh, yes? It can be exhausting, can't it?
Oh, yes, it can.
At this point, I stay on to help my daughter with my grandkids. Can't say I'm finding all the same egotistical pursuit I did when I was young, right?
What did you want to be when you were young, Yisheb?
That's a good question. I wanted to be an architect. I wanted to design buildings. I used to go into the Solar Basilica with my parents, and I'd look up at those arches, and I'd think, to be the man that designed that beauty. I don't know if that's ever left me, Miss Teresa.
I understand the feeling.
To build something bigger than yourself. Bigger than anyone. The closest little glimpses of divinity. Bodies like yours and eyes can come close to devising. I thought that was beautiful.
I think we all have it in us to bring a little more of the divine into the world. I don't know that it's divinity specifically, but
maybe something close.
There certainly are moments when it gets close.
I believe that thoroughly. And at this part in my life, kind of cracks his joints. I think that's all I can do. So, what makes you so interested in this case? Did you know somebody that passed away or injured in the soiree?
Yes, I knew a few people who were harmed. There was a woman there, Elsbeth. She had a husband.
Of course. Elsbeth was the wife of the man who died, that owned the whole damn thing. Titus.
Yes. Really are strange times we're living in. And I feel as though every once in a while she starts sneaking glances at the bartender.
Yeah, they seem really preoccupied, super gender-neutral individual. But they're talking to kind of two regulars, it looks like, for quite a while. Pretty much the whole time you guys have been here so far.
Have we been served our drinks yet, would you say?
No, not quite yet. I don't even know if you guys have talked to the bartender quite yet.
I'm gonna let go of Belvin's leash. He's gonna run out the front door. He's gonna start barking.
Okay. I don't feel like that's a role per se. Do you have to give Belvin a command to do this, do you think?
I don't know. I feel as though a lot of the commands that she teaches Belvin are kind of sub-vocal. You know, stuff like snapping of the fingers, stuff like that.
In that case, I mean, if you feel it's appropriate that she doesn't tell him anything and is just able to get him to do that, I think you can just have that happen.
In that case, I feel as though maybe she has like a command associated with some light stomps of the feet or something that she tries doing quietly under the table, and have him sort of run out and make some noise.
And he does as such. You can tell that Yisheb notices.
Silly me, I let go of the leash. Would you mind coming out with me to fetch him?
No problem. Let's go.
She's probably going to be playing out the old lady game really hard here, and maybe just a touch exaggerate the speed with which she could try to catch up with Belvin. Really stretch out this time walking.
Yeah. Would you mind giving me a deceive,
Okay.
please? High society.
Fuck, of course it's high society. That's a chunky.
Ooh. Okay, would you please give me a D8 shadow stress, please?
Okay. 5.
What does that put you at?
9.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Alright, that is a minor shadow fallout. We're just gonna describe this on your character sheet as quietly noticed. But Gertrisa does not notice a thing.
Okay. That's really good. I like that.
Yeah, and Yisheb keeps playing along.
Yeah, and so she's gonna, just sort of follow Belvin.
I think you can find him fairly easy. Yeah, right? Like, 'cause you kind of guided him out.
Yeah, we're just sort of walking, where she knows Belvin would be going. And I think she does try to spark the conversation back up as she's going.
Okay.
How much exactly did you know about this Titus?
Very little, I'd say. He's a famous individual in Amaranth, but among the rest of us, I couldn't say as such. He seemed, as far as Aelfir go, not the worst. But research seems to point towards his wife Elspeth as being that influence, not himself.
Yes, she is quite an interesting woman.
Indeed. And difficult to find information on. I think she's a lead, as far as the research goes. But not within my purview.
Yes. So, I'm sorry to continue prying, but how much exactly do you know?
Enough.
I think I'd like to make a business proposition to you.
So my goal here is to get the two of us alone. Would you say it's within reason that we're in as big of a building as it is? We're getting to a section that doesn't have so many people?
I'm presuming if you're following Belvin, at this point you're probably outside.
Yeah. Okay, I was just... I suppose... Belvin probably ran off into an alley or something. My point is, I want to time the end of this conversation around the time where we get to where Belvin is. I'm trying to manipulate it right so that we're getting somewhere out of sight so I can, do my job.
I think all of that lines up. I think by the time you finish this conversation, you've pursued Belvin into sort of a back alley.
Yeah, so she, picking it back up. A business proposition. She takes the package that contains her war cleaver from the side of her backpack, and she looks down at it and says,
I was a fighter on the Nujabian front during my durance.
Is that so? Thank you for your service.
Yes,
and she starts unraveling this package, sort of revealing this cleaver.
Yes, this item is one of the last remaining mementos I have.
You see that Yisheb is keeping a distance, like 8-9 feet. Is that so?
Yes.
And then She sort of takes out the war cleaver. She sort of places it like blade down on the ground, holding, sort of getting down on one knee, sort of like trying to make some sort of knight's pose. She's this old lady with like arthritis and shit, so she's having a really hard time doing the kneeling.
Yeah.
And she says,
I would like to help in any way I can, but the only way I know is fighting. So if you need muscle...
Your business proposition is muscle.
Yes, if there's one thing I know about law enforcement, it's that muscle is always needed.
All cops are bastards.
Luckily, we are independent contractors. You can probably sense he's deeply tense, his hands sort of resting on his hips in a weird way. Independent contractors with abilities. You're making me nervous by revealing to me this prize of yours in this context.
I'm terribly sorry.
And then she's gonna snap her fingers, or just one finger, I suppose. Like the one that she has tucked away behind her back. She like had it tucked away behind her back to sort of make this pose. Yeah, she snaps that finger. Belvin's gonna go hog wild on this dude.
Okay, give me difficulty 1, a fight roll.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Give me that damage.
Okay.
Describe how Belvin attacks this individual.
She just snaps her fingers, and Belvin sparks to life as he does, and just charges down the alleyway and just tries ripping one of this guy's legs out from under him.
I think in this context it totally works that, you sick him and he fucking, with the bulk of his body, tears a leg out from underneath him, and you hear this individual go crashing to the fucking ground. But you also hear at the same time him pull a pistol out, and it clatters against the side of the ground, whips it up, and he, BOW! It releases, full shot. If you could roll resist for me.
Okay. Oh, fuck yeah.
Unfortunately, this is difficulty 1, so you need to roll a 10 to succeed at this individual.
God damn.
Okay, if you could give me D6 body stress, please.
Not bad. In that case, I have 4 blood protection, so take 0 stress from that.
Cool. Yeah. It dinks away into existence, luckily. So a bullet goes wild off the side of your in the distance in the hall, in this alleyway. But of course the gunshot rings out and Yisha begins to scream.
And I'm
and begins to kind of whap with the butt of his pistol against Belvin's head.
And I'm gonna step on this dude's throat.
Hell yeah. Okay. Fight, high society, difficulty 1, please.
Okay. So, keep getting mixed up. Boom, bitch!
Damn! Fuck! Give me that damage.
So what is a damage for a boot on a throat?
D4.
It's not really, a big deal, because I'm doing this more to keep him, to shut him up, than to do damage.
Yeah, his screams definitely 100% stop, and Belvin still gnawing half, maw deep into his leg. You just sort of hear choked, gurgled screams from him.
And as he's choking, I'm gonna lean down and whisper in his ear,
I'm terribly sorry, I'm not good at this subterfuge thing.
And then I'm gonna try to cleave his head off.
One more fight, and I think he'll be good to go.
So that's a 7. So that's succeed at a cost, right?
That is success at a cost. Okay, give me a blood D8.
Fucking hell!
Doesn't that still? You still have 1 resistance, right?
Oh, that's to me. Okay. Yeah, I still have protection. I thought that was the damage I was doing to him for a second.
No. Protection first. So yeah, that still leaves you with what? 1 protection left?
Mm-hmm. Alright.
Done. He's dead, theoretically, so it's up to you what you do with him.
I take my war cleaver. Yeah, I just chop his head clean off.
It's effortless. I feel like you can see between the vertebrae. Yeah, with a clean thump, he's dead.
So, next up, I'm gonna flip the body over and take my cleaver, and I'm gonna try to skin this dude.
Great book. One of my favorite books is called Wind Up Bird Chronicle.
God.
But there's a scene where there's a veteran, a World War II veteran, who describes his experiences in the Manchurian front of World War II, which was like a part of Soviet Russia that was conquered by Japan. And he describes this Mongolian descended individual who was trained in the Manchurian army to skin people alive for, like, intimidation purposes. One of the scariest chapters of a book I've ever read.
Fucking baller. Well,
haunting as fuck.
Well, this is that soldier, and she's a sweet old lady.
And I was gonna say, yeah, I think you are exactly trained in that Manchurian, Mongolian, like, I think it's a technique descended from, like, Aliquam Drow. I feel like that's where Gertrude descends from.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
It's like this Aliquam Drow technique of, yeah, you, like, split them neck to dick, and then you, like, slice, like, side, like, along the hips, and, like, up the back, and you're able to pull off his skin in one clean, and, yeah, all his skin rips off his muscle.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're trained enough to do this in, like, a minute and a half.
Yeah, it's like a fucking Red Dead 2 skinning animation.
Yeah, but just horrific and mind-numbing to anyone but Gertrude.
Yeah, absolutely. Whenever the skin's off, she allows Belvin to go hog wild on what's left.
Oh yeah. Could you please give me a sneak roll, please? No difficulty.
Okay. Just trying. Fuck!
Damn. If you could give me a D8 shadow stress, please. What does that put your shadow at?
So I already took a shadow fallout, so it's at 0. Cool. So I took 2.
2, right?
Yeah.
Belvin goes chomping away at this skinless corpse.
Hell yeah! And so I'm gonna put my war cleaver back in its thing. On the other end of this backpack, I'm gonna roll up this skin and strap it to the other side of my backpack, trying to make it look as much like a regular hide as possible. Actually, no, I'm gonna roll it up and put it in the backpack along with the head.
Absolutely doable.
Yeah. Next thing, are there any signs or billboards?
Totally.
How easy would you say it would be to get up to one of these things?
It would probably take a roll, but not too difficult. You know, sort of a ladder, climb up the building.
Would you say I should make sneak here? Because my goal is to make it up here without anyone seeing me.
Absolutely. Nice. Give me a D6 shadow. Oof! That puts you at 7, is that right?
Zooey mama. It's not been a good shadow episode.
That's a moderate fallout, my friend. So what were you trying to do?
So what I wanted to get up onto the roof of this casino. Would you say that it's within reason that there's like a flagpole or something on top of it?
There is no roof to this casino.
Would there be like a sign or something hanging off the front of it?
2 big banners, 100% sort of like presenting the casino itself.
Yeah, then what I wanted to do, I guess, is get up to one of those banners and drape this thing of skin over them. Maybe tie it down so it stays in place and just like, essentially just make sure everyone sees this skin.
You can do that 100%. The problem is that somebody sees you immediately upon doing that, screaming and loud, and you can see the guards below you that attend the Casino Goliath begin to snap into formation, and you can hear arrows thump their way into the glass near where you're hanging the skin. So yeah, moderate, spotted. You're recognized by the guards here.
Okay, so would you say I have to be inside in order to be in this position to do this, or...
I think you do this just sort of like scrabbling along the outside of the casino.
Okay, hell yeah. In that case, I'm gonna fucking just jump into the first window I can see.
Pursue. Give me a pursue.
Oh, also, these refreshes. There's one that says complete a hunt and take your quarry.
Yeah, that's a refresh, man. You're good. Refresh.
Refresh. Okay, cool. That's a good roll.
Give me a D8 body.
Okay.
Nice.
So I think I think I'm down to 1 blood protection. I also have armor. Is that just additional blood protection, or?
Yeah, that's just blood protection. Refreshes refresh your stress, though. I don't think they refresh your resistances protections, per se, though. Just slip into a window nearby, and now you're inside the Casino Goliath itself. I think this room is probably unoccupied, but it, sort of looks like an undisturbed hotel room.
Fuck, what was Belvin doing on that ledge?
Oh my god, what was he
He's a big-ass dog!
He's a big dog. I presume he's just barking in the distance.
Yeah, I guess you left him in that alley.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to climb and stuff, that's not his bag at all.
Yeah, I guess he's in an alley around the side. I'd probably have him, if there are a lot of guys, he'd probably try to retreat further into the alley. Would you say that's good?
Yeah, it's totally. Yeah, that he's, reasonably self-preserving.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go inside. I guess I'm just gonna step out into the hallway.
Again, huge hotel, so I don't think you see anybody immediately, but a vast hotel room hallway sort of thing lies in front of you.
Yeah, and I think I'm just gonna start walking in one direction. How much blood would you say I have on me?
How much blood, huh?
Because I feel like there's a bit of blood.
I would say there's a decent chunk of blood, yeah, especially from the decapitation and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Once again, I feel like the floor you jumped in on is low enough and, unoccupied enough. You're not seeing a whole lot of folks.
Okay, so, yeah, I'm just gonna look around for a staircase or some kind of lift.
I think it's pretty easy to find emergency stairs, so that sort of thing, whenever the Arcano lift isn't in operation.
Yeah, okay. In that case, I'm just gonna take the stairs down to the ground floor.
Awesome. Probably passed a couple of guests. Probably a little confused by how bloody you are, but I don't know if they're in a position to question you. And you can continue essentially all the way down to the bottom floor.
Yeah, and when she does this, as soon as she gets down to the ground floor, she smacks her head, just with the palm of her hand, and goes, stupid, and she goes back upstairs.
Oh, okay. All right.
And she's gonna try to figure out where Garen is.
Fuck yeah. Okay. How's she gonna do that?
How is she gonna do that? She's gonna look around for an employee, which I feel as though, being as big of a hotel as it is, they should have people on different floors. I don't know, she's just looking for anyone who looks like they work here.
I don't think it's going to be that difficult to find an employee.
Okay. And as soon as I find them, I'm going to say, "Excuse me, do you know where a Garen Unyielding Transcendence would be residing?"
No, I don't know. I work here, lady. I don't know where anybody stays. That's crazy.
Could you point me in the direction of who would know?
I don't know, lady. Maybe the front desk or something?
Okay, that would be excellent. Thank you.
Nods.
And she's gonna go back down to the ground floor.
Stupid.
Could you give me a sneak roll, please?
Okay. Boom!
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, you're good. You make it down to the ground floor. What you looking for?
I'm gonna go up to the lady at the front. And is this the same girl?
Oh, yeah.
So, with this blood still on me, I'm gonna go up to her, and I'm going to say, I'm sorry to bother you again. I need to speak with Garen Unyielding Transcendence now.
Oh, okay. Did you find our other guest here with that group, Miss Gertrisa?
Yes, he told me that he couldn't help me, but Garen might.
Okay, well, yeah, okay. Well, if you could, make your way up to the 9th floor through the Arcano lift, It seems like Garen O'Neilling Transcendence is staying in room 18. You'll just have to knock, I suppose.
Oh, thank you so much, dearie. You really are such a blessing to this hotel.
Thank you. Are you okay? You're covered in a lot of blood.
Oh, I had a nasty fall on my way down those stairs.
Okay.
It's worse than it looks. It's not worse than it looks. It's not as bad as it looks, is what I meant to say.
Oh.
Yes, I suppose I just sort of had a stroke, me being an old lady.
Okay.
And I tripped on the stairs.
Do you need help?
No, I hurt myself, but not in a way that matters. It's fine.
Okay. Well, if you need help, we have plenty of staff that can assist you in whatever you need, help with.
I think as long as I avoid falling asleep for a few hours, I should be fine.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm dead. No, that was just a joke. Ta-ta now.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, and she goes up. I think she goes up the stairs again.
By this point, the amount of time you've spent in the casino, you can probably navigate it. And yeah, you can make it to the floor that Lisette has mentioned.
Yeah, she's an old lady climbing up 9 flights of stairs. But I feel as though she's relatively fit, right? Like,
yeah.
She's a hit woman. I feel like she'd have to stay in shape. But still, I imagine it's not fun for her. And yeah, she goes up to room 18 on floor 9, like the nice lady said, and knocks on the door.
Somebody comes to the door. Doesn't open it, kind of barely opens it with the chain. What's up? Can I help you?
I have a package for you.
I didn't order any packages, Lee.
It's a gift from... I'm sorry, can I come in a second? 9 flights of stairs.
I don't let people with packages into my room, lady.
Okay. Could you get me some water, if you don't mind?
What the hell? No. Get some goddamn water from the lobby. What the hell do you have for me, lady?
All right. 1 second.
She's gonna reach into her backpack, and she's gonna pick up Egypt's head and toss it in through the door.
Could you give me a resist check, please? Difficulty 2?
Difficulty 2, huh?
Difficulty 2.
That's not attack.
Unfortunately. Yeah, you push his head in, and this guy, lightning quick, like the moment you give it enough time for him to register.
I still have 1 more blood protection, and 2 armor. Fuck yeah!
So I think that puts you at 0. So, yeah, you stick your head, through this door frame, and yeah, a massive caliber handgun shell rips through the side just past your thigh. And the door stays in its same place.
Yeah, and I'm gonna pull out my war cleaver. I keep wanting to say machete. I'm imagining this thing as just being a really big machete.
It's essentially a machete-sized cleaver.
And I'm gonna try to chop through the door. Here's Johnny style.
Okay. Difficulty 1. I think you're good at this point. Yeah.
Is this a kill?
Yeah, fight, or whatever it is.
Boom, bitch.
Hell yeah. So, you're not attacking him per se, but I think you cleave through this door in 1 clean swipe. And there he is, cocking his gun, trying to jam another bullet in. Get the fuck out of here, you bitch!
So I'm gonna take out my hook, and I'm gonna try to sling it and hook it onto his arm. Whichever one, whichever one is holding onto the gun.
Left arm. Yeah. Difficulty 1, fight please. High society.
Hell yeah!
9. Alright, give me that damage. Yeah, so you yank his gun arm down, and he, for a moment, locks eyes with you. You fucking cunt!
What I was intending to do, you can tell me if this is too much, but I really wanted to hook this thing, into him, not, wrap it around him to try to, but, hook this thing into him and, just start pulling him towards me.
I mean, it makes perfect sense for me for that hook to, rip between the 2 bones of his forearm. and you just like pull him down to the ground.
Fuck yeah.
I've been called worse.
Yeah, she's just gonna try chopping this dude's head with a cleaver as well.
Okay, yeah. One last fight, difficulty 1, please.
Oh, fuck.
Give me a D8 blood.
This is such a good goddamn moment to do this, though. Oh, God. Oh, God, this is so... So I had 0 protection, so that puts me at 8.
Okay. Oh, fuck.
So is
That's a major fallout. Yeah, it's a major body fallout. So you pull him in, and you say, I've been called worst. And then that arm that's holding the hook, he blows that shoulder off. And you can feel that arm is essentially hanging on by meat. The meat of your armpit. The bone, the muscle, the sinew, gone.
On God, my whole ass arm?
Whole ass left arm, essentially on that shoulder, is dangling off by the equivalent of a hangnail.
Okay.
And yeah, so essentially, especially by now, you can tell when you hook him in, he has a handgun the size of his head. Like he was only able to load 2 shells at a time in this giant fucking handgun. So he essentially, the arm that's hooking him, yeah, like I said, removes all of the muscle and bone from that, and it blasts in a hot red spray against the back wall. And I think you stumble back. The arm that's still left is still gripped to the chain. If you were to pull, you still have tug on him. It's no longer muscular. Like, that arm is rigor mortis to that chain. And you can pull, but if you pull too hard, that's going to strip the skin off. You get what I'm saying? Like, almost when you pull a hangnail off.
It's going to separate my arm entirely.
Yeah, like when you pull a hangnail and you get that strip of skin that runs down the side of your finger, it's going to do that along the side of your ribs if you keep pulling.
Oh, shit. I get you.
His gun is empty, though. The moment that happens, his gun goes empty, and you see he has to clack it open, and he is fucked up. I mean, this chain is buried through the entirety of his forearm.
Yeah, I think she definitely recoils from that, and as soon as she gathers her senses, she just tries closing the distance again, and trying to hit him.
I mean, you're still attached to him. You can hit him no problem, even without like tugging the remainder of your arm. That's not even difficulty. That's regular.
Oh wait, no. It's regular.
It's regular. Yeah, one more D10.
Come on, baby.
Oh!
Dicks!
Oh! D6 blood, please. Oh my god!
Fucking dicks!
That's a 6. Oh, just barely!
Oh.
But the cleaver whistles past the side of his neck, and with the butt of his gun, he just whip cracks you, sort of a light punch, right dead in the middle of your nose, and you feel your nose break a little. Get the fuck out of here, bitch! And you see he reels back his gun to do it again.
I want to tackle him.
That's gonna be easy. The problem is here, your arm is just as much attached to him at this point as it is to you.
Well, if I close the distance and get close to
there is no
him.
distance between you two anymore.
Okay. Trying to think what I can do without splitting my body open.
If you're willing to hack your arm off, you don't have to take difficulty, and you just have to make a resist to escape. But otherwise, yeah, you're gonna have to, like, rip your fucking arm off. But if you're willing to take your cleaver away from this guy and just your arm clean off, you can escape, no problem.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna chop my arm off. Or, I think I'm gonna bite it off, actually.
You can do that, no problem, like with one clean bite.
Yeah, I'm gonna spit it out as soon as I get that chunk of flesh. And I'm just gonna yell, "Fuck!" Yeah, I'm gonna try to kill this motherfucker again.
Yeah, so you hack your arm off, scream fuck, and he stumbles back, attached to his left arm, a hook buried all the way through, his arm clearly numb, no finger usage, and attached to the end of the chain, your rigor mortis left arm. But you're free. I feel like Gertrisa is in this, like, adrenaline space. Like, she doesn't even feel it at this point.
I think, like, from the moment her arm got shot to now, she's been more angry than in pain.
Yeah, just complete momentum. No difficulty. He's completely, I mean, he's as stunned as you could be. Yeah, so he's just sort of staring at the head and, like, gibbering and, like, grabbing his arm. Ugh. Okay, D6 blood, please.
I'm taking D6
Yes.
blood? That puts me at 10.
So one more major. I think I'm going to combine these into a severe.
Okay.
So I'm going to present to you now the option. Gertrisa could die here.
I don't want Gertrisa to die just yet.
That's okay. She doesn't have to. But at the very least, she's going to be pulled out of action. Okay, so what's the last thing Gertrisa tries to do here?
Well, okay, so would I not be playing Gertrisa anymore?
No, you're still going to be playing Gertrisa. You just get, like, right, the last action you attempt to do, you're going to be incapacitated in the attempt to do it.
Okay. I think she's gonna... Okay. I think she's gonna jump at this dude, and try to dig her teeth into his throat.
I think you do it. Like, I feel like your teeth meet his throat, get a deep, like, to the fucking gum purchase in your teeth to his neck. He screams and screams, and with the strength he has left, he beats you unconscious with the butt of his handgun. Over and over and over. You can almost feel at the end of this like you're about to rip his fucking throat out with your mouth. Like Belvin. I mean, you can almost feel his neck give way, and you slip into oblivion. You are in a place you do not even remotely recognize. Dark, cold, sterile environment. You're chained to something. A wall, clearly, something flat and long. And every once in a while someone comes in, sticks a syringe in the side of your neck, and rejuvenates you. Again, you're alive. And you feel time pass. And eventually, the dark, distant rectangle of a door through which your captors keep you opens, and through comes a cadre of the guards that have been consistently looking over you. Your bloody stump slowly healing, and a robed figure, an individual you don't know from your personal life, but you can recognize. Posters, distant whispers. This is an archdeacon. He walks close to you. The light dim. You feel sickly, and he slightly bends his elegantly defined posture over to look at you in your eyes. Well, I think this one will do nicely. Is she still alive? Barely. Seems she has some connection to Charnel. Charnel. A foolish bitch of a god. You said her dog was somewhere nearby. Aina. Yes. We have her not far from here. Excellent. Excellent. Your deaths will prove an excellent fuel. He kind of stoops down even lower and tries to look into your eyes. Can you hear me, creature?
Hello, my name is Gertrisa.
Your name is Gertrisa. What spirit? And Gertrisa, tell me, are you ready to die?
I have been for some time now, mister. I'm sorry, I don't know what you Elfir like to be referred by.
Mister is just fine. I can say, Gertrisa, that formalities are at the front of our priority list right now.
Well, I don't know about that, you know. I always try to remain professional. It's just, I'm an old-fashioned kind of gal.
Well, you've certainly proven yourself to be an old-fashioned kind of gal. He gazes even closer. Magnificent.
Oh, stop! You really are too much.
No, Miss Teresa. You're too much.
I don't know what we're laughing about.
Miss Teresa, I'm willing to forgive your crimes. And more importantly, willing to offer you a job.
Yeah, her ears perk up at that. If drow ears can perk up.
Yeah, he reaches over and grabs you by the chin. And he looks into your face, and you realize by now, this guy's about your age. Kind of tilts your chin left and right. Where did you grow up?
Well, I grew up here, but my parents were Alaquam.
Excellent. Alaquam. My family happened to come from the same stock. This prison, the spire, it isn't our home, is it? A transitory place where we must make our brood good and make sure that our descendants find prosperity. I understand that it takes many an individual to find that prosperity. Individuals with talents beyond that which are commonly accepted by polite society. Your work was magnificent.
So, what is this about this business proposition?
It's very simple, Mr. Teresa. He hands the head back to one of his guards. I need somebody killed. Somebody I found a particular difficulty finding. Someone to take care of. Somebody who has found an incredible amount of foolishness to back their quixotic campaign. An individual that goes by the name Deacon Sunrise. Does that ring a bell?
Why, yes, I believe I've seen him.
My proposition is simple, Miss Teresa. Make Deacon Sunrise disappear.
I think that can be arranged.
Well then, let's arrange it. Thank you so much for tuning into the first Red Strings interlude of Swan Dive. We are super excited to pass episode 10 during these interludes and are super excited to continue to share these little solo stories with you. I hope the content in this particular one wasn't too difficult for anyone in the audience, and in spite of the glee the scene presented, I think it is worth noting that this sort of violence is only meant to be presented as the consequences of actions, and in sort of a exaggerated gonzo way, we intend to explore that. So if this was not exactly your bag, as much as I do wish for your viewership, I will warn this will be something of a standard over the course of Swan Dive. Thank you for listening, my friends. Safe travels.